When planning a garden, it's always important to think about the actual architectural structure of that. Also, listening to your clients' ideas of what they're looking for. I mean, for instance, in this garden here, we ended up with these beech beehives. And then slightly differently, we then had the taxus, the yew cylinders. And other people were saying to me, that's an interesting, because you're balancing something that's got the beehive shape, whereas something that's a column that's cut to a certain height as a taxus. So those gives me the sort of the balance of my all year round structure. And then obviously we have trees and everything else that goes with it. But that's the structure that's going to hold the garden all year round. With lawns, again, it's a very important subject because, you know, laying lawns, you need to make sure that you're always putting down, once you've prepared the actual ground soil underneath, you're putting a root zone on top, which is the very fine sand base that you need in order to be able to get the lawn as flat as possible, and also helps get it to establish itself quicker. And also then think about fertilizing your garden at the right time of year, not when it's hot. Just make sure you're fertilizing when you know it's going to rain. And then you can decide what type of plants you're going to use. Always be careful that you don't go rushing out there and just buying any particular plant. Plant the colours that you put in here, be it your salvias, be it your agapanthus, and how that changes through the season. And then Rudbeckia, which gives you that nice bright orange. And I think it's also, when you look into the garden, you want to sort of have colours that help you draw your eye out into the landscape. So that's why I like having little colours, but blocks of colours. No little. I mean, you're going to plant plants. Don't be brave and, you know, either go for 5, go for uneven numbers, because that's the way it works. It's either 3s. I mean, never really plant one plant on its own unless it's a big specimen. But with perennials, you know, 3s, 5s. Yeah, then there's ornamental grasses, because again, those are going to help carry you through the winter period. So just carefully research and, you know, make sure that you're using plants that don't want shade, do want full sun, all these type of things you need to balance.